My name is Kermit Bates. Y'all can call me K. All my friends do. I'm going to start off and ask y'all to forgive me. I'm not really much of one for speaking in public. I'm also going to have to watch my grammar because my wife Sally's around here somewhere and she was an English teacher. I was born right here in Bainbridge, Georgia on March the 6th, 1936. As a boy, I lived in Savannah, Sale City, Georgia, Virginia, and Charlotte, North Carolina. Eventually, my family came back to Georgia where I graduated high school. As a teen, I played football and basketball, and I also helped start the first Key Club at BHS because I was involved with Key Club in Charlotte. I also taught swimming and life saving. My favorite part was saving the girls. After graduation, I once again left my hometown for the University of Georgia where I studied business administration. I also served in the U.S. Army Reserves. By 1961, at the ripe old age of 25, I started my own construction company, Bates & Associates. One of the things I'm most pleased with in my life is that I began that company and built it up from the ground up with little more than the will to do it and a whole lot of hard work. I was always fascinated by business, and it brought me a lot of joy to be able to help provide people with a livelihood. In the beginning, we built just about anything we could to get started. Eventually, we went from building small stores and offices to industrial and school buildings. In 1973, we built the first 5 buildings at Bainbridge Junior College, now known as Bainbridge State College. Boy, that place sure has gotten a whole lot bigger since those first 5 buildings. That may not have been the biggest project we worked on, but it was one of the ones I was most fond of because of what it brought to the community. Also in 1973, we built the first plant for Amico Fabrics, Bainbridge Mills. After that, we built for Amico in Georgia, Alabama, Virginia, Texas, and Canada. Before we knew it, Bates & Associates was building all over the country. I eventually sold that business to an associate, and now Bates Engineering and Contractors Inc. is a global business. After my retirement, I was urged by several local people and friends to run for, including Mayor Bill Reynolds, who y'all about to have the pleasure to meet, and who y'all just met, some of y'all, to run for a seat in the Georgia House of Representatives that was left vacant after the death of Bainbridge's own Walter Cox. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm not much of one for public speaking, but I knew that I had the time and the desire to represent the people and the business interests of Southwest Georgia. I was elected to the House of Representatives in 1989. Now, during my campaign, my opponent and I had a public forum we were both invited to, kind of a get-to-know-your candidates thing. Well, my opponent went first, and they went on and on and on and on. Well, by the time they finished, I saw the crowd was just bored and ready to go. So I stood up and said, "I'm for everything that they are for," and I sat back down. Anyway, back to my days in the legislature. During the 10 years that I served, I always did my very best to vote my best judgment, regardless of the pressure from anyone. It was always my goal to serve with 100% integrity. Once, I was the only legislator from either party to vote against the bill. I felt that bill was frivolous and I could not vote for it. Another time, I was one of only 2 to vote against a very popular bill because I felt that it was fiscally unsound. I never cast my vote based strictly on party ideals. I stayed true to my beliefs and the people who put me there, and that's the truth. I originally ran as a member of the majority party in Southwest Georgia, but towards the end of my career, I switched parties. To tell you all the truth, political alliances or political parties meant nothing to me. I simply did what I felt was right and in the best interest of my constituency. I felt privileged to serve in the legislature, and I love Bainbridge and all of its citizens. I've always felt it is of the utmost importance to support community causes. So once, during the original fundraising drive for a community organization, I found out one of my friends was going to make a generous donation. So, for fun, after he made his donation, I matched it, plus $1. While in Bainbridge, I was a JC, a member of the Rotary Club, on the Development Authority. I was the director of Citizens Bank, a member of the Chamber of Commerce, active with the Boy Scouts, and I also served on the Business Council of Georgia. Bainbridge sure is a special place, and I am so glad to be able to call it home. I appreciate y'all spending some time with me here tonight, and I look forward to seeing y'all again real soon.